In the past 7 episodes on our topic on life, we have been through some basic topics. Briefly, actually, we are not gone into details, but we have touched upon many topics. Though it looks small, these are all very important topics, and they are not serious topics, they are very serious topics, they are not entertainment. So, talking about entertainment, we are coming to another subject: to be entertained. So, we all want to be entertained. So, between birth and death, for our normal life, is to collect a lot of memories. So, the memories, we want it to be pleasant. That is normal. That is a normal life. So, to be a memory to be pleasant, we want entertainments. So, what is an entertainment? So, I'll read a quote. Entertainment is something that holds the attention and interest of an audience or gives pleasure and delight, strongly associated with amusement. The idea is fun and laughter. That is the definition. Entertainment is something that holds the attention and interest of an audience or gives pleasure and delight, strongly associated with amusement. The idea is fun and laughter. Another statistics or research about entertainment is people who want to be entertained are less interested in critical thinking because they are not serious. So they are less interested in critical thinking. I'll again quote from a research paper. Also interestingly, Brock and Livingston found an inverse relationship between the need to be entertained and the need for cognition, a measure of how much people like active problem solving and critical thinking. Again, more you think, the less reliant you are on TV. So it is an inverse relationship. If you are interested in problem solving, if you are active, if you are into critical thinking, then less reliant you are on your TV or other forms of entertainment. So if it is not good for our life, that is, entertainment is not good for our life, then why we are reliant on entertainment? Because we want to escape the reality. That is why we want entertainment. We want to escape from the present. The present poses real problems which have to be answered. We want to escape from that. Forget that and live in a fancy world offered by entertainment. We want to escape from this reality and live in a fancy world which is offered by the entertainment. Again, to quote, the young people, the students and the children are constantly instigated into pleasure, to fancy, to romantic sensuality, and the words restraint and austerity are pushed away, never given a thought. This quote is from J. Krishnamurti. Again, I will continue with the quote taken from one of J. Krishnamurti's talks. You have been brought up from childhood to amuse yourself and escape from yourself through entertainment, religious or otherwise. And when most of the psychologists say that you must express everything you feel and that any form of holding back or restraint is detrimental, leading to various forms of neuroticism. You naturally enter more and more into the world of sport, amusement, entertainment, all helping you to escape from yourself, from what you are. The understanding of the nature of what you are, without any distortions, without any bias, without any reactions to what you discover you are, is the beginning of austerity. So all the activities though is required, we should not use these activities as a form of an escape from the reality. That is what he is trying to tell. So when we are able to look at what we are without any bias, without any reactions, and to discover who we are, J. Krishnamurti says that is the beginning of austerity. Austerity means to find out who we are, what we are made of, what is our thinking, what is the reality now. If we are looking into this without any distortions, that is the beginning of austerity. So is it possible to live without an entertainment? Will we become mad, unable to bear the stress of everyday life? We will be able to live peacefully only if the stress are not there in our life. The only way we can throw stress out of our life is to face and resolve the problems at every moment, not carry it forward. So how we can avoid entertainment is when we have stress-free life. So when will we have stress-free life? When we are able to look at the present, resolve the problems of our day-to-day life, then and there itself. If we are unable to do that and carry forward our problems, the stresses will come. So be conscious, be aware of the present, and try to understand our day-to-day life. So with this, we will end this part of our discussion. Thank you. Another discussion in the current episode is identity. We all want to be identified with something. We want an identity, an image to define us, an image created by us over a period of time. A little bit of childhood image with innocence forms the basis. Then the playfulness of teenage comes to us. The image of adulthood, which is what you want to be and what others would like to see you as, and not what you actually are. You want to project that when you are, especially in the adulthood, teenage and childhood. At least to a certain level, we are ourselves. It starts with the teenage and then into adulthood. Our projections are mostly completely different from the reality of what we are. We want to project an image which we want to be identified with. These all forms of image are far from reality. We want others to see what we want them to see, not what we actually are. These forms are identity. Why do we require this identity? To quote, beyond the basic need for a sense of control, we are deeply driven by our sense of identity, of who we are. I is a capital letter, denoting the importance we place on our sense of individual self. We always put that I in a big capital letter where it is so important for us and we think that defines us. How the identity is formed. Early in life, as kid, when we begin to realize that we are separate from our mother, we first begin to create our identity. We identify at this stage with the dolls we play. Later on, when we grow up, we identify ourselves with other objects. It may be a house, mobile phone, car, job, or other things. When we are kids, the dolls are so important to us. We get identified with a particular doll or dolls. Of course, that changes over a period of time, different dolls at different times. But we attach so much of importance and we completely identify with those dolls. And if it is taken away, we are worried, we cry. Same way later on in our life, we identify with our career or a certain image. We identify ourselves as engineers, doctors, actor, musician, or whatever. The conflict within us arises when almost all of us want to show that we are perfect people. But no one is perfect. It cannot be. In the exterior world, nothing can be perfect because so much surrounding us affects us. The conflicts with others arise when we feel that our identity is being threatened. If we feel that way, when our responses could be very aggressive. When we feel that our identity is being threatened, we feel very aggressive. Can we live in this world without being identified with something? Let us see what J. Krishnamurti talks about this. Really, can you and I, as individuals, live in this world without being identified with anything? After all, I identify myself with my country, with my religion, with my family, with my name, because without identification I am nothing. So normally we identify with something. This is a quote from J. Krishnamurti. If we don't identify with our country, religion or family, we are nothing. Inwardly we are nothing, zero. So we want to identify with something. Again to quote, without a position, without power, without prestige of one kind or other, I feel lost, and so I identify myself with my name, with my family, with my religion. I join some organization or become a monk. We all know the various types of identification that mind clings to, but we can live in this world without any identification. Can we live in this world without any identification at all? Can we live in this world without any identification? Is it possible? But inwardly, inside the skin, as it were, we try to identify ourselves with the past, with tradition, with some fanciful romantic image, a symbol much a romantic image, a symbol much cherished, and surely this identification, there is a sense of security, safety, a sense of being owned and of possessing. This gives great comfort. One takes comfort, security in any form of illusion. And man apparently needs many illusions. We want identity because that gives us a sense of belonging, comfort, but that is not reality. The image is not reality. If you are aware of this, then you can live without identity. Why we identify? Because it gives us a sense of belonging. We belong to this country, we belong to this community, we belong to this state. So that gives a comfort, that gives a backing for us. We think there are so many people behind us. But that is not the reality. The image is not the reality. If you are aware of this, then we can live without identity. We should be aware that this is not a reality. So let us look into a Zen story which is a little bit connected with this identification. It's a story called Dreaming. The great Taoist master Chuang Tzu once dreamt that he was butterfly fluttering here and there. The master dreamed in his sleep, and he was dreaming as if he was a butterfly which was fluttering here and there. So he had no awareness of himself as a human being or a teacher in the dream. He was identifying with the butterfly. He was only a butterfly, nothing else. Suddenly he woke up and found himself in his bed, lying there as a person. Then he thought, am I a man who was dreaming as a butterfly, or is it I am a butterfly who dreams about being a man? So whether I am a man who is dreaming as a butterfly, or is this situation where the butterfly is dreaming as the Master Chuang Tzu, which is true. You now know from the story what identification is. What is reality? Is it the dream which is real, or the so-called reality we assume that is real? Just think about this, and we will be taking up another topic in our next discussion. Please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. Thank you. Let us continue our journey.